Hi, we're here. We're actually here.
We were there,
We were there.
and now we're here.
Oh man, how sick was that?
Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah, like when
That whole weekend was sweet.
when I rewatched it, I was like, I was there. Like,
Yeah.
And then I rewatched Takeover first, and then I watched like the Samoa Joe photo bomb happen, which is still fucking hilarious, by the way. God damn, that's funny.
I just realized that I was looking at Joe, and I looked at where the camera was, and I was like, oh, wow, I'm super visible. I saw like part of me. Yeah. I was like, geez, I'm super visible. Wait.
In retrospect, I should have stood up on my chair and come over the top. Yeah, but I wasn't even thinking about, like, you will think about that kind of stuff, like like where the camera is, and you're like, oh, where is it pointing and everything, and I was just like,
I was stupidly visible too. I think they did this bit later in the show where they were like, and look who else is here, it's Tyler Bate, except he was in the same place Samoa Joe was, and they were pointing the camera in a different direction, and I feel partially responsible for that. This iPad is dead.
They know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter, right?
I understand it's better than the Full Sail crowds.
Really?
This is what I'm told. I don't know. I hear the Full Sail crowds are ridiculous.
I don't get to watch a lot of NXT, so I mean, I watch a little bit here and there, but not a ton. But anyway.
So this episode of Sidewalk Slam,
Yeah.
Welcome back, by the way. This is Sidewalk Slam, which is our podcast covering WWE wrestling, specifically from a position of the storylines and narrative, and trying to keep a positive look on things. And Adam and I were lucky enough to, because the Royal Rumble was in San Antonio at the same time as PAX South was in San Antonio, so we were able to attend both the Royal Rumble, which I'm so happy about, and Takeover San Antonio the night before, which was also amazing.
It was great.
Two very different experiences from an audience, like in the from an in-person audience. And yeah, it was really interesting watching later the sort of the stuff that we saw that the broadcast missed, and the stuff that we missed that the broadcast got to see. It's very interesting. Like, he missed out on a lot of subtleties, obviously.
It was definitely obviously the NXT show is like part of the appeal is like they feel so inclusive. Like you're there and it's a much smaller show, and then when you're at the Rumble, it's like it's fun, but you don't really feel like your voice is being heard. You know what I mean? Like you're in this stadium of 50. It was like 52,000.
52,020.
Yeah. So, but it was just incredible. Like, just to be there live. Like,
this is now a year since we started doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And the Royal Rumble episode last year was super long because it's the Royal Rumble, so there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spend too long on it, but we should briefly talk about Takeover. We were there.
Yeah, we were there.
Hi, we're here.
We arrived just as No Way Jose was winning a dark match.
Well, that was a taping, I think.
Right, that was a taping for probably, I guess, was it on NXT this week?
Yes.
I guess so.
I think so.
The shot of us in the crowd was in the promo
Yeah,
package.
a couple people tweeted that at us. That was cool. I was like, hey, look, that's us. Yeah. We did it. We made it. Yeah.
And so, there was only like 5-6 matches, I think?
Yeah, like 5. It was
because the Takeover, they're like 2-hour long shows.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. Like, just, I mean, the Rumble is great, but 6 hours, including pre-show, is it's a long haul, man.
We are both also, you may be able to tell, sick from the PAX pox.
Yeah, we caught it,
we're going to try and keep sniffing and coughing to a minimum, but this is life, yo.
Yeah.
So the first match on the card it opened with Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger
it was awesome.
versus Eric Young of the Sanity faction. Yeah. Because Eric Young had offered him a chance to join Sanity, and Ty Dillinger said, no, because I am a good guy.
Because he's the Perfect 10.
It was a really good match. It was super fun. The other two guys from Sanity got involved a little bit, as you would expect from a heel faction.
Ty fighting them off and ultimately not succeeding because of the number game. The numbers game, as they like to say in the announcing business.
The numbers don't lie.
Was just, oh yeah, I never thought about that. That's kind of funny.
That's his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing, and he lost a 3-on-1. So yeah, numbers don't lie.
A side effect of Ty Dillinger's gimmick, which is the Perfect 10, which means that as he enters, people chant 10, 10, 10, is that in NXT especially, and now I imagine this is going to transition somewhat to the main roster, is that whenever the referee is doing a count for either people to get back to their feet or they're being counted out for being outside the ring, is he'll go like 1, 2, 3, and the crowd will chant along 1, 2, 3. And now in NXT, they just every time they just chant 10,
Yeah.
10, regardless of the number, which makes it a little hard to keep track of.
They were doing that. They were doing it at Survivor Series too. Like that's where that weekend it started, because Ty Dillinger wrestled Bobby Roode at that takeover event, and it's always kind of been around for like the last however long. But I don't know. I think it's sweet because it keeps Ty Dillinger relevant, and I think Ty is definitely one of those wrestlers that could have a big year. He's definitely
he's great to watch in the ring, and he's definitely one of those underdog faces who like keeps losing, but you really want them to win.
Yeah, and it's like funny because like he hasn't won a pay-per-view match for
a long time.
A long time. I can't even remember.
But this is one of those instances where wins and losses don't matter because he keeps losing, but people love him. So.
Yeah, we all love Ty, and it's just like, and he doesn't even really like. I mean, like he has promos on NXT and stuff, but he is mostly. I mean, a lot of the people just watch takeovers, right?
Yeah.
And he's still over.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. But that 10 gimmick is just so simple. It's like the Daniel Bryan. Yes, like we can just chant 10 and that's it, and. That's something you can really get behind. So
next match was
Ty Dillinger lost.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. The next match was Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
Versus
Andrade Cien Almas.
Right.
Yeah. I hope I said his name. Cien. Who I'm not a big like Cien fan. I haven't really been. Like I understand that.
I didn't know who either of these guys were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I haven't been keeping up on NXT, and I was like, who are these
I think Roderick Strong, I mean, he's from the Indies. He was big in PWG, in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Okay, yeah.
And he was also in Ring of Honor.
He impressed me in this match.
Yeah, I just love the way he wrestles. A lot of people knock him because he looks very plain. Like
he does look a little bit like a default
vanilla
wrestler from a video game.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, this is the guy you get, and it's like, but I just love the way he wrestles. I don't know if he's brought it to NXT, but his thing on the Indies was he's the king of the backbreaker.
Oh, okay.
I rewatched NXT, and they sell on commentary the fact that he can hit a backbreaker from anywhere. Like that's his thing.
Cool.
And I think in the Indies they call him shitty little boots too, because he wears tiny boots, like not the big, not the knee-high ones, but just tiny little things. Like old Stone Cold boots.
Yeah, so this was a fine match, and he won.
Yeah, Roderick Strong won. I don't think Cien's won a takeover match for a while, because he lost to Bobby Roode at Toronto, and I'm trying to remember who else he fought.
I don't know.
No idea.
Now, next, was it the tag match next?
Yeah.
Yeah, so DIY, which is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa defending against the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering, their manager. I don't recall the individual names of the Authors of Pain.
Macam and Razor. I think it's Macam.
They're very large men.
I keep on wanting to say...
Like, way bigger than Tommaso and Ciampa.
Oh, yeah. I keep on wanting to say Toka and
Tommaso
Razor.
Ciampa. No, Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah, I keep on calling them Toka and Razor.
Tommaso and Ciampa.
Like in the Ninja Turtles movie.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
So, this match, I was like way more impressed than I thought I would be with the Authors of Pain.
Well, you know what interested me was that Paul Ellering didn't get up to shenanigans.
Yeah, he just hung out and...
Yeah, because there was the whole thing where this will become relevant later tonight, they did the match with suspending him above the ring in a shark cage so that he wouldn't get involved with the match. And they did that again, or they'll do that later tonight with Chris Jericho, but he didn't get involved with his match, and the Authors of Pain won.
Yeah.
It was a really good
awesome
match.
Yeah, and even shout outs to whoever, like the wrestlers that crafted this match, like making Ciampa and Gargano not look like typical small guys against typical big guys. Yeah. Like they fought.
I like that they did the bit from their match versus Revival where Gargano and Ciampa both had guys in their submission holds. Yeah. But the Authors of Pain had planned for that and powered out of it. Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
So new tag champs.
Yeah, the Authors of Pain win. So I actually wasn't as bummed out as I thought I would be. Yeah. Because I was like, I really like. Right,
this is the night where all of Adam's boys lost.
Yeah, every single one.
Ty Dillinger lost. We didn't have a dog in the fight for Strong versus Cien.
Yeah. I had Strong.
Oh, okay.
So I guess he could have been my boy. But DIY lost, and then I guess Asuka won. Spoiler alert.
That was the next match. Was the women's champion Asuka defending against in a fatal four-way, defending against Nikki Cross from Sanity, the same faction as Eric Young from before. Yeah. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay.
Yes.
Who were basically working together the whole time.
Yeah, they're like the new what they did with Emma and Dana in NXT when they were.
remind me a lot of the Beautiful People from TNA.
I don't even know who that is.
It was Velvet Sky and Madison Rain.
Yeah.
Am I remembering the correct iteration? Because there was a third member at one point.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were just very sort of like prissy, overly dolled up. We think we're hotter than you. You know.
These ones, I feel like the Peyton Royce and Billy Kay thing is like, we're Australian, and that's kind of where it stops. Like, we're Australian, so you should boo us, right? Like
They got to be from the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Surely
yeah, definitely.
They are? Okay.
I don't know. I'm just agreeing with
the
you.
Gold Coast is Australia's Florida.
Yeah.
Like, it's, yeah. So it's all like partying and beaches. And,
Yeah. But Asuka retained, which I was super shocked by.
Yeah, the Peyton Royce and Billy Kay put Nikki Cross through a table next to the announce table.
Dude, I want to see.
She was just out.
I want to see more of Nikki Cross. I really liked her character and like what we saw there.
I think it's believable that she could actually beat Asuka for the title at some point, which will have to happen eventually because Asuka's so dominant.
Yeah, dude. They didn't help the making Asuka look less dominant because like Nikki got put through a table and taken out of the match, and then Asuka just proceeded to Roman Reigns the shit out of Peyton Royce and Billy Kay and kick their heads off and win
Except
the
she's
match.
always been
yeah, but she's
built
always
that
been
way.
like
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
The I guess that is an interesting point actually because we're going to come back to that later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's why am I okay with Asuka
Doing it?
doing that? I guess because
I think it's just her attitude.
it's
like
not
the way,
so unbelievable whenever it happens.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, that just doesn't make any sense. Because what happened was they took her out and she was lying beside the ring for like 5 or 6 minutes while they dealt with Nikki Cross, and then they came back and then she powered out
She
of
made her
it.
big comeback.
Yeah.
She's
also just
both their heads off. Like,
bigger than them.
Yeah, she's just.
I don't know if she's taller, but she's got more muscle.
For some reason, Asuka just seems more credible. I guess, like just very credible in that role. Like I believe it.
Also,
Whereas,
it's weird because in a fatal 4-way, it doesn't matter who gets whoever gets the pin wins. Yeah. And Billy Kay and Peyton Royce obviously had it that Peyton Royce was, of the two of them, was going to be the one to take the pin because they pulled Asuka up and beat her up, and then Billy Kay was like, "Great, go for it, pin her," and Peyton Royce pinned her, and Asuka kicked out.
Yeah.
Asuka was down. They could have, and they dealt with Nikki Cross. Billy Kay could have just laid down for Peyton Royce and taken a 1-2-3, and Peyton Royce would have won the match right there. But no, they wanted to take out Asuka.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a point about it.
I think
which would prove to be their undoing.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. I definitely want to see more of Nikki Cross. Mm-hmm. I don't really
care about the other two.
Care about the other two, I guess.
Not yet, but maybe I will.
Maybe I will at some point. Asuka's just Asuka. I could watch Asuka wrestle.
Oh my god,
she's great.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
And then the title match, the main event, the NXT Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura defending against the glorious Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
How long was this match?
Like 25 minutes or something like that.
Such a good match.
It was awesome. Like awesome. It was so much fun live, and like just to be able to be able to experience both those entrances with the crowd and like just
everyone singing along.
Everyone singing along. Like,
my voice was wrecked the next day.
We gave it our all, and it was so much fun. There was a great bit of like in-match storytelling, kind of like Shinsuke did like a diving. Bobby Roode was on the apron to the outside, and Shinsuke did like a diving knee onto Roode, and kind of like it looked like he landed awkwardly and hurt his knee, and so he was selling that, and then he hit the Kinshasa with that same knee,
which is a knee strike,
which is his finisher, and he immediately like started playing up that his knee was really hurt, and then some trainers came out, and we weren't sure.
Matt Bloom came out.
Yeah, Matt Bloom came out, and we're like, what is going on? And then Bobby Roode hit that glorious DDT, I think they're calling it. And the sound from the crowd was incredible when he hit that DDT.
Yeah.
Like that intake of breath, and everyone's like, holy shit, like he's going to win this match. And Shinsuke kicked out, and then Bobby Roode slapped on this half Boston Crab.
On the knee.
On the injured leg, and held it in for what felt like forever.
Yeah.
And then hit another DDT, and Bobby Roode wins. And I think we would have been happy either way, right? I don't think we'll see Shinsuke on the main roster till after WrestleMania.
Yeah. I liked Bobby Roode after the replay holding the belt and saying, I told all of you that it would be glorious.
Yeah, he looks great. Like, I hadn't watched any of Bobby Roode's stuff. There was a beer money chant?
There was a beer money chant. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, that was their tag team, right? Him and James Storm.
It was funny because the beer money chant started and I was like, what? Why? Because
yeah, like, why did it happen?
Cough break. Yeah, I was like, why? Because I thought that maybe he'd done a move that he used to do when he was in Beer Money with James Storm, and that I had missed the move, and I was like, what? Why that chant? And the guy beside me was like, well, he was in a tag team called Beer Money in TNA, and I was like, no, I thank you, I know that, but why now?
What triggered it?
It was just random, I think.
Yeah, I think
it was just like
some guy money. Yeah, so. Yeah, Bobby Roode, new NXT champion. I'm excited to see where they go with this.
Me too.
Yeah, they did the next round of tapings, but I didn't read the spoilers or anything.
No,
so.
I haven't either.
No.
Okay.
All right.
The Rumble.
Buckle in.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What a card.
I loved this show.
This was a great pay-per-view.
It was a
great pay-per-view and a really good Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
With some asterisks.
Yeah.
I have some complaints, but overall, it was a great pay-per-view and a really, really good match.
Yeah.
So, the pre-show, real quick, there was a 6-women tag match with the SmackDown roster, which was Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Nikki Bella versus Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, the returning Mickie James, and Natalya.
Yeah.
Who had a lot of heat.
Yeah, she did.
The in-person crowd was like, boo. And Naomi ended up with the victory. And not just the victory, a very impressive-looking victory over Alexa Bliss, the champion. So that she actually, I haven't watched the episode yet, but she actually had a championship match on SmackDown this week.
Did she? Because I know.
Was it this week or next?
No, she's penciled in for the pay-per-view. It's at the pay-per-view.
Oh, I thought it was on SmackDown.
It's at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, anyway,
from what I read,
that's great for Naomi.
Good
for her for debuting on the main roster as a Funkadactyl.
Yeah,
great effing work, Naomi.
Her entrance is awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
By the way, and just like she was the best part of that 6-pack challenge. Remember last year that they had? Yeah. And then she was probably the standout for this match too. So like, shout outs to her, man. Like she's. I mean, they all bust their ass, right? But it's nice to see like that they're not. I mean, our complaint with the Raw division has been like it's 3 women. Yeah. But it feels like the SmackDown division is like they're doing it in a way. There's more depth. Yeah. They're doing the storylines in a way where people are still feeling credible rather than just like they're showing up and losing every once in a while. Right? Yeah.
The next pre-show match was the Raw Tag Championships. Yeah. Sheamus and Cesaro defending against Gallows and Anderson in a match with a weird stipulation where there are 2 referees.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
To stop Gallows and Anderson from getting up to shenanigans.
Yeah, because in the build-up for the weeks building up to this, and I know you talked to me about it before we went into this, like went to the show, and you're like, why was the commentary pumping up like the divide and conquer
strategy when it's like Gallows has a match. I don't remember the exact breakdowns, but it's like Gallows has a match against Sheamus with Anderson and Cesaro at ringside. That's not a divide and conquer strategy.
Yeah.
Also, they didn't book those matches.
Yeah. It's not like...
This is not a strategy. This is just you have... And then Anderson and Cesaro had a match with Gallows and Sheamus at ringside. That's not dividing and conquering. Yeah. That's just a one-on-one match with the other guys there.
It's like... I don't think you know what divide and conquer is.
No.
Because like divide and conquer would be like if Gallows and Anderson attack Cesaro backstage and then Sheamus has to come out by himself, then against like that's a 2-on-1, right?
Yeah.
That's a divide and conquer. Like, but no, what they did was just they had singles matches and their tag team partners were at ringside.
Yeah.
And then there was always some kind of a screwy finish for either side, right?
Yeah.
So I think there was like it all originated from like the club had a tag team title match and they technically won it, but it was reversed because Sheamus hit a ref and disqualified and got Cesaro and Sheamus disqualified.
Yeah,
and that's where it all started. Yeah. And then it went on to like these singles matches and there was always kind of a screwy finish.
Yeah, it was like your winner and new tag team champions, Gallows. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Oh, I'm being told it was actually by disqualification. So Gallows and Anderson still win, but they don't win the title.
Yeah. So, but the match was good. Like, it's four men who can work together.
It was a really good match.
Really like Cesaro and Sheamus. I really love Gallows and Anderson.
Also, what ended up happening was that one of the refs got bumped out inadvertently by Sheamus.
Yeah.
And the other ref was distracted so that Anderson was able to pin by pulling the tights.
Yeah.
So they like, the double ref thing was important.
Yeah, it was important.
Because a couple times it stopped them.
Yeah.
Like, a couple times there was like the one ref was counting and someone had their leg up and the other ref was like, yo, the leg here.
Yeah.
And the refs were like, all right, I got you. Yeah, okay, you got this. You know, like, we're working together. And then, one of them gets bumped and the other one doesn't see the cheat. And Gallows and Anderson win, and it's like, oh, that's so great.
Yeah, it was a great
storytelling.
As bad as as dumb as it looks on paper, like two refs, like they did a good job of like making it incorporated into the match. So
making up for DIY losing, man, how pumped were you? The club won.
Dude, I was like the only person in my section that was like cheering. I was like on my feet, like screaming. I was like, yes, they did it! Finally, fuck, man. When did they debut? Like before SummerSlam?
Yeah. Oh, also. In person, so the Sheamus and Cesaro entrance, like their duo entrance, right?
Yeah.
Is like Cesaro comes out with like the James Bond thing, and then it cuts to black, and then it comes up with the Sheamus thing with the lights.
Yeah.
And then Cesaro rips his clothes off, and then they go in. So, two things about Sheamus's entrance. The bang when the lights turn on is so loud. It's like it's a whip crack of like a fireworks explosion. And it's an audio cue that's played and it's so loud.
Yeah.
And even to the naked eye, those lights reflecting off Sheamus are blinding. He's just a glowing dot.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we were on the other side of the arena because we were facing the stage.
Yeah.
But even to the naked eye, it's just like, I can't tell if there's a human being in there.
Dude, it looked awesome, though.
It was really cool.
And, like, even with Cesaro, like, standing behind him, too.
Yeah.
Like, it looked great. And then, the match was great. My boys won. I was really happy. I'm excited to see if they're going to let Gallows and Anderson be, like, the big mean guys that we all want them to be. Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't just lose the titles at like Fastlane or something like that, but we'll see.
And then the last match of the pre-show that I sadly missed like half of because I was waiting in line for a hot dog, the most medium hot dog I've ever had, was...
Did you put ketchup on that hot dog, you monster?
They had 3 pump handle things for mustard, ketchup, and relish. And I just went bam, bam, bam. I didn't care. I just wanted to mask the taste of the hot dog. However, the 4 food options were nachos with cheese.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're legally allowed to call whatever that was cheese.
No.
By the way, Alamo Dome. 2, pretzel and cheese. 3, hot dog.
Yeah.
Or 4, something called a top and go.
The fuck?
I don't know. It was listed under the food category. I didn't see anyone eating anything that wasn't pretzel, nachos, or hot dog. So I don't know what a top and go was. I assume some sort of regional thing.
Yeah, it sounds awful, though.
But I was too suspicious of it. I was like, no, I don't think I will.
No, thank you.
Anyway, the match was Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax.
Yeah.
And Nia beat the shit out of Sasha.
Yeah.
And hurt her knee.
Hurt her knee. Yeah. Working on that knee.
I don't know. I don't think that's a real injury.
No.
Yeah.
It's just all part of the storyline. Like in the build-up, Nia was just basically targeted Sasha because she felt like Sasha was basically a phony, right?
Do you feel like Nia... I feel like she suffers on promos because her voice does not match the rest of her character.
Yeah, I think it just sounds very, like, stale, right?
She just sounds like a random valley girl.
I don't believe what she's saying.
Look, Sasha.
Yeah, like that.
I don't think you understand what's going to happen to you. And it's like, you're a beast.
Yeah.
Like, take it down an octave.
Yeah.
Like, you should really be like growling and, you know.
She sounds like how you would figure like someone who looks like Alexa Bliss would talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I would work on that for the characters.
I think she's still got some work to do, but I don't know. That feud was just like kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Right? It's
And
just
it
sad
continues.
that, yeah, and it's still going. So it's like, okay, all right. I guess that's what we get.
So, the main show.
Yeah.
Brought to you by KFC Georgia Gold
Yeah.
honey barbecue sauce.
There's
finger licking gold
there was a really weird KFC commercial.
with like an all gold kernel.
Oh, yeah, all gold kernel. It was very bizarre.
Very strange.
Yeah.
And live from the Alamo Dome
Yeah.
in San Antonio, Texas. 52,018 people and Adam and myself in attendance.
Yeah.
It's the Royal Rumble 2017, the 30th annual Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So excited. First up, the WWE Raw Women's Championship match.
Yeah.
Bayley challenges Charlotte.
Fuck. I hate to say it, but the build to this match was so bad.
It was.
It was really bad. Like, I remember you saying something about the segment with Stephanie and Bayley. But was that the same segment where Bayley was doing the rhyming thing? Because that was fucking painful.
Oh, no. So there was a segment where Charlotte comes out and is like, Bayley's such a nerd. She's so dumb. Look at all these endearing pictures of her wanting to be a wrestler when she grows up. What a dork.
And she brings up
It's
like,
like,
the
you're,
essay she wrote.
bitch, you're Ric Flair's daughter. What the hell?
Yeah.
And yeah, she's like, look at all these poems that Bayley wrote. I'm going to read one to you, but I can't read it from the ring, so you and the audience read it. That was awkward.
Yeah.
And then Bayley comes out and is like, I'll write you a new poem right now. Roses are red, violets are blue.
God, that was awful.
I'm Bayley and you're stinky poo or something.
Yeah.
Like it was just some terrible,
stinky poo.
I don't know what she said. They were that bad. They were like these terrible, terrible rhymes.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there was this backstage segment with Steph that just bugged the hell out of me because it's like this inconsistency with Steph's character. Steph, by the way, is the worst character on all of WWE programming because she is completely inconsistent.
Yeah.
Right? Even like bad characters do the same stuff every week. Apollo Crews has no character. Steph has the worst character because she'll come out and like snarl and hiss at the crowd and how they're stupid and they should kneel and she's a McMahon and she knows what's best for business. And the next week she's like, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Stop bullying. Fight cancer." And it's jarring.
Yeah.
And it's bad writing.
Yeah.
And I can only assume it's because it's like she's supposed to be the bad guy but still wants to be liked. I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know. We're not backstage.
But,
like, there was an episode of Raw where there was no Foley and no Steph.
Oh, it was great.
And it was awesome.
The breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this bit where she's talking to Bayley and she's like, you know, Charlotte is an appropriate women's champion. You aren't worthy of carrying that belt, which is the same bullshit she's said to
Everybody.
X number of men on the roster
do
as
you
well.
know- do you
But
realize
do you remember
she's-
like 3 months ago when she like tore a strip off of Charlotte backstage?
Yeah.
Which also came out of nowhere, by the way. Like that was also inconsistent with her character, that it was the week after Charlotte told Rick to piss off.
Yeah.
And then Steph is just like, I'm offended that you are carrying our women's title and how you are just a monster of a woman, and was like really hurtful.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, that's a little more hurtful than Steph usually goes because he usually kind of likes the heels, but this is interesting. And then now she's like, Charlotte is the pinnacle of what a women's champion should be. And it's like, sure.
It's like,
Makes me so mad.
yeah, it's not consistent. Like, the build was pretty doo-doo. The match was pretty great. I actually really liked it.
The match was great. Have you noticed that they started calling they're called sky dancers, by the way, is the technical term.
Oh, really?
They've started calling them, instead of the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men, they're now, according to commentary, the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing Bayley buddies. I don't know if they're trying to like trademark it or...
You know, in the WWE, they're trying to trademark it. Bayley buddies.
Bayley buddies.
You could buy a Bayley buddy for your buddy. What if I buy you a Bayley buddy, Graham?
Like a whole...
Like a whole big one.
I have two.
Really?
Yeah, I bought them for Desert Bus last year.
It's like, fuck.
Because I did the Bayley entrance.
What do you buy a man who has everything? I can't buy you a Bayley buddy. Well, my gift ideas are totally tapped. But yeah, the match was great. I liked it. God, I love the way Charlotte carries herself in the ring.
Yeah.
She just looks like a superstar. Like she just looks important, right?
Yeah. Bailey was a little. It looked like she missed one or two things a little bit.
There was like a bit of mistiming in the beginning, just like they ended up kind of just shoving with each other a little bit.
It's probably the biggest crowd Bailey's ever been in front of.
Oh yeah, was she at Survivor Series? No, she was at Survivor Series.
Yeah, but this is bigger.
Is it bigger?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Alamo Dome is huge.
Yeah, that's true. What was I going to say? I totally lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Charlotte carries herself well.
Charlotte carries herself, and no, I can't remember. Oh, it's gone.
I've honestly, I want to say, I've honestly been. I mentioned this to you in message, but kind of disappointed with Charlotte on improvised promos.
Yeah.
If she knows what she's going to say, she delivers it beautifully and like really like home run.
Yeah.
But if she gets rattled or if something goes awry or she needs to improvise, it gets very wooden and awkward.
Yeah, when you mentioned that, because she was on commentary.
Oh yeah, that's it. Commentary, she's terrible.
I didn't really notice anything like out of the ordinary. Like I felt she was fine, but maybe I'm just like not.
Well, like when she's on commentary, she just sort of like she knows like 2 or 3 things that she's supposed to say.
Yeah.
But like she's not loose. Like Michael Cole will be like, "Well, now Bailey has said this recently. What do you make of that, Charlotte?" And then just like silence, and then Charlotte's like, "Well, we'll see what happens at the pay-per-view." Like it's very like she doesn't have any like I don't know. It feels like when she's put on the spot, she just sort of shuts down.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've been disappointed with her on commentary.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
I don't remember what I was going to say. The big thread for this one too is Charlotte's pay-per-view winning streak.
Right, because she's undefeated at pay-per-view.
Yeah.
15 pay-per-views in a row.
Well, pay-per-views with the title on the line.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
the thing.
15
Yeah, because she lost
pay-per-view title defenses.
Yeah, because anytime there's a title on the line, whether she's defending or pursuing, she wins the match.
Yeah.
So she's 16-0 in championship matches.
Right, at pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of people think that's ridiculous, but I think it's great.
Yeah. She wins this one too, by the way. I don't know if we actually said that.
No, she wins. Charlotte wins. She hits a natural selection on the apron.
The hardest part of the ring.
That's like a 75% damage modifier.
It looked brutal.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I really liked how after Charlotte hit the natural selection, she didn't like taunt or anything.
Yeah.
She just rolled Bailey in the ring and like went for the pin immediately.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right, good for you. That doesn't make like, because sometimes you can come across as like, it can be damaging to the other person's character. Like if you hit this big spot, the finish of the match, and then you kind of like taunt a little bit before you pin them. But it was like, for Charlotte, it was like all business. I got to win this match kind of thing. So yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Next is the WWE Universal Championship match.
Yeah.
A no DQ match, which I had forgotten about, I guess.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns challenging Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
With Kevin Owens' best friend, Chris Jericho, the U.S. champion, suspended above the ring in a shark cage like a sexy pinata. Yeah. To quote Chris Jericho.
They must have said sexy in the build-up for this feud. He said sexy pinata at least 3 times a show. At least. Didn't quite get as over as everything else that Jericho has touched lately.
It's not bad, though.
But it's pretty sweet, yeah.
And, so we're like, how is this going to go?
Yeah, we weren't really sure.
I had actually predicted. I'd laid out my predictions beforehand, and I was 4 for 4 on the undercard predictions.
Yeah.
And I predicted Kevin Owens would retain on this match.
I never would have made that prediction.
And he did. But how?
Well,
so the point of Chris Jericho being in the shark cage was that so he can't interfere with the match.
Yeah.
And so before he goes in the shark cage, before the bell rings, they both just attack Roman Reigns and start beating him up.
Yeah.
And then he gets in the shark cage, and the shark cage goes up.
How do you feel about Roman fighting off 2 guys to start the match?
I mean, it's okay. He was able to get like lucky on one of them, and he's still fresh, so whatever. The match is good. It's a no DQ match. Stuff comes out from under the ring. They beat each other with it.
Sets up this great
builds a
chair pyramid.
A pyramid of chairs.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, Kevin's going to go through that later.
Dude, is Kevin the only wrestler on the roster that like anytime he builds a structure, he's the one that goes through it?
Maybe.
Because like
he always looks so pleased with himself when he does it. He's like, look at this cool thing I built.
Yeah, it's like I made this.
Yeah.
There is a I really like this match. Like this this match definitely drove home the fact that Roman Reigns is a good wrestler.
Oh yeah.
He's a very good wrestler.
That's not in question for me.
Yeah,
anymore.
like that's not the issue, right?
No.
But Kevin Owens goes through the pyramid of chairs.
Chris Jericho throws brass knuckles down out of the shark cage, and Kevin Owens puts the knuckles on, and then does Roman's like fist to the floor in preparation for the Superman punch in the corner. Huge crowd reaction for that.
And then he hits the Superman punch with the brass knuckles, but Roman kicks out. You knew the match wasn't finishing there, though, right?
No.
But
there's a table set up in the corner of the ring.
Yeah. Kevin hits a frog splash to the outside.
Yeah.
On Roman, remember?
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. It was just like, holy shit.
Kevin gets put through one of the announcer tables.
Yeah, he gets power after he gets...
Right, after he goes through the bunch of chairs, then Roman puts him through the announce table, and I'm like, well, I guess Roman's winning this one.
Here comes the end, and we were like, I was ready to just concede to the fact that Roman was winning this match.
Yeah.
But who comes out of nowhere to save us all? I became the world's biggest Braun Strowman fan at that moment.
Not even because of this, I became a big fan of Braun Strowman after this night.
Yeah, that's true. After this night, he really impressed me.
Yeah.
But at this moment, Braun was my favorite person on the planet.
Braun shows up, picks up Roman, throws him through a table, just twats him around a bunch. Yeah. Beats him up, and then
does the running power slam through the table in the corner, and then Kevin Owens makes the pin.
Yep,
1, 2, 3.
Kevin's like out.
Yeah,
and he's just like just barely gets on Roman. 1, 2, 3.
The crowd noise when Braun showed up was amazing.
Yeah,
it was just like we all realized at once, like Owens is gonna retain. We were just all so happy. I mean, there's. Roman is definitely popular with like we said before, children and females.
Yeah.
That's like his demographic.
Yeah. But not even all of them.
Not even all of them, no. And Braun showed up, and this was explained the next night on Raw, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Because the next night on Raw, Kevin was like, "Oh, thanks for that." And he's like, "Well, I didn't do it for you.
Yeah,
I did it for me.
Give me my title shot."
And the WWE, fucking, for some reason, decided that continuity was a thing.
Yeah,
and was like, and
here's a thing from like a month ago or something.
They went a month back. For those of you who don't watch wrestling, that's a fucking miracle.
That's rare.
That is super rare that they plant a seed that far back, right?
Because basically it was a discussion that they had backstage where Kevin Owens was like, well, Braun, you've been doing amazing. Like, he's basically trying to talk up Braun Strowman to try and interfere with a match that was happening on that episode of Raw.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I keep the title, you've been so impressive recently, then you're probably the person next in line for the title shot.
Yeah.
And so Braun got it into his head, all right, I got to keep the belt on Owens.
Yeah.
And then once Reigns loses, then I get a shot.
Yeah.
And so Kevin's like, what? And Braun's like, yeah.
His reaction was so great.
Look, we have a tape of it. And he's like, that's not what I said.
That was photoshopped.
Yeah, that was photoshopped. That's not true. That's not,
Great. Kudos, WWE. I want to see more of this shit.
Yeah.
More of that, please.
Owens retains. They lower Jericho, much to his delight.
Yeah. They hug it out.
And
like two best friends.
Yeah. Reigns hobbles backstage.
Yeah, that's good.
Cruiserweight championship match between Rich Swann and Neville, who has proclaimed himself the king of the cruiserweights, challenging for Rich Swann's title.
Yeah.
Very flippy match.
Dude, how sick is Neville as a heel?
Oof, he's so good.
Dude.
He's so good.
Fuck me, man. And he doesn't even, I don't think he does the red arrow anymore, which is great.
Oh, nice.
I love stuff like that. Like they take out things from there. Because the red arrow would just get a pop every time, right? Because it's an amazing looking move. Neville, I mean, it's been said like a million times before, but Neville is definitely the shot in the arm that the cruiserweight division needed. Like, they didn't really have any, like, big bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, Kendrick is kind of a bad guy, but he's not like this.
He's the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
He's goofy.
And Neville's just like this
He's a beast.
big brick that you got to beat up. And it's like, I don't think I can beat up this brick. Nope. It's like, nope, you can't, because he's the brick.
And he won.
Yes.
Handily.
Yeah.
Well, not handily. I mean, it was a good match. It's not like it was a squash. It was a really good match back and forth. But
Dude.
he won definitively, let's say that.
Swan hits that, like, heel kick that he does for a finisher. I don't even know what it's called. But it didn't even look like he pulled it when it hit Neville.
Yeah.
Like, usually when the WWE does a replay on a move, they'll do the thing where, like, slow motion, and then they speed it up at the end to make it look...
They speed it up right at the point of impact.
Yeah, but this was, like, slow-mo all the way through, because he just, like, caught Neville right on the chin.
Yeah.
It looked great. I think Swan's, like, kind of cool, but I want to see more than just, like, the goofy dancing guy.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like...
Even when faced with the terror that is Neville, he was still kind of goofy dancing guy.
They tried to remedy that, like, the weeks leading up to the build, like, Rich kind of trying to show a more aggressive side, which was cool. But even during the match, I don't know, it's just, like, something about him. I'm like, I know he's talented, and he's a very good wrestler, and, like, he has charisma, but it's just, like, I want more than just dancey guy.
Neville ends up winning by a matter of a crossface armbar submission.
It's kind of like the Rings of Saturn that Perry Saturn used to do.
Wow,
almost.
I do not remember that.
But it's just like this weird kind of, I don't even know how to explain it.
I don't remember very much about Perry Saturn apart from Moppy.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, for all you old school fans out there,
there was
the Rings of Saturn.
While they were changing, by the way, the ring ropes to the Cruiserweight division, they played this backstage segment with I can't believe they still use this thing.
Dude, the tumbler?
The giant tumbler to hand out your number for entering the Royal Rumble, which is like, that doesn't make sense, because there's some stuff that happens in the Royal Rumble that doesn't happen by random chance. So it's clear that the general managers seed some of this intentionally and assign some numbers and not others. But anyway, Sammy gets his drawn, but he's too nervous to read it. So Dean comes in and reads his and is like, here, Sammy, I'll read yours. It's number 8. Sammy's like, what? Oh, wait, sorry, it's upside down. 8. And Dean won't say what his is because the surprise is better.
Yeah.
So we know that Sammy's number 8.
Yeah.
That's the only entrant we know.
It was a great bit of character build, like character work for Dean too, because like not only like the 8 and the it's upside down, and at the end he's like, well, I'm gonna go take a nap. Do you want to wake me up when my music hits? Like, he gets up from a nap and just goes straight to the ring.
Yeah,
like, I can picture that. Yeah, I love how the way that Sammy's been acting lately, like that really kind of like, I guess is neurotic the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, a little bit,
that apparently is what he's like in real life. Yeah, like he, from what I've gathered from what people like, I've heard people say
like
about
backstage
him.
stories. Yeah,
and it's just like it's kind of funny seeing them. Like Sammy just be Sammy, right? I actually really like it. I think it's funny, and everyone seems to. It's really easy to play off it. Like when Daniel Bryan was there, he's like, "Just pick the number, Sammy." Like he's getting really upset. Yeah, and it was like, I could see him like pushing people's buttons like that by being so like everything's overanalyzed. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, next up, the singles match of the night, the non-Rumble match of the night, because you can't include the Rumble in some of it.
Yeah, the undercard match of the night?
Sure, including the pre-show.
Do you think this was better than the SummerSlam match? I think so.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was. This was AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against John Cena.
John Cena,
who wants to tie Ric Flair's record of the 16-time World Championship.
Yeah, that was, again, the main thread. I think
this was cranky old man John Cena.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, new era, this is crap.
Yeah.
I'm still here, and I don't like all these upstarts. I'm the veteran. I'll fight you.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles is like, you suck, and you're not here. You're not here enough, and I don't like you, and I'm better than you.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh, we also, by the way, I forgot to mention my Roman Reigns sign. I did make a sign, which got picked up on. It got a lot of social media penetration. It was on a What Culture listicle, It's the Roman Reigns. I disagree with your character progression, but I hope you find growth. And I hope you find growth in other ways.
It was pretty great. It's too bad we weren't closer.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was a 2 foot by 3 foot sign, and the guy behind me was like, "My son can't see." And I didn't want to be like, "We're only going to hold it up during his entrance, man."
Yeah.
But
Like,
anyway.
whatever.
And Adam had 50 copies of They Don't Want None, which we handed out to the whole section, which got sort of spread more thinly than I expected.
Yeah, I thought it would. Yeah, it was kind of like all over the place.
Yeah.
I know that.
Twitter user Nick the DM had 4th row seats, and we gave him one of the signs as well. So you can see it during AJ's entrance. That's Adam's They Don't Want None sign.
Yeah.
That I got printed out. And he also had a Sidewalk Slam sign, which you can see during Charlotte's.
Yeah, you can see it
when she's holding the thing up.
Apparently, too, like during Neville's entrance, I think he said he got a really good shot of it.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't go back and watch Neville's entrance, but
that's awesome.
So thanks, check it out.
Thanks, Nick,
shout out to that guy
for that.
Didn't you say too, like because I handed out my signs to our section, you said that during the Cena Styles match, a little girl who was a Cena fan took the sign from her sibling, like her sister or something, and ripped the sign in half.
Yep.
Like,
she was wearing like the orange Cena shirt.
She was decked out, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, AJ Styles, John Cena. John Cena hunting that elusive 16th world title reign. Yeah. AJ Styles trying to prove that he's the best in the world.
So I heard a rumor that part of the reason that this match felt a little differently was that AJ was calling it. And so it felt a little bit more Japanese in pace.
Yeah, they were going fast. Like this was
because typically John Cena likes to call his matches.
Really?
And because John Cena calls most of his matches.
Yeah, that's weird. That's impressive that he let AJ call it. Because from what I can gather from John Cena is like he's very like hands on with everything he does. Right?
Yeah, but there's like a couple specific sequences that people who know better than we do were like, that was a very Japanese sequence of moves.
Really?
To do that, and into that with that speed.
Yeah.
And so people are presuming that it was AJ calling the match, which is interesting.
It was an incredible match.
It was really good.
God, I was so stressed out for this whole thing.
The match where finishers are merely suggestions.
This is the kind of match where I just turn into a mark.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Just because like you're so invested in like the story and the guy you want to win.
Yeah.
Like I knew deep down that Cena was winning this match.
Oh yeah.
But
I knew going
you
in.
can still, that's what makes wrestling so great, is even when you know your guy's going to lose, like you still just cheer as if he's going to win, right?
I mean, and huge applause for both guys after this match, regardless of who wins.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, even John Cena, like the usual mixed reaction. Yeah. Like, there was no mixed reaction after Cena won. It was just like, all right, shout outs to John. It didn't help that fucking shit. John Cena goes to the Make-A-Wish kid like after the match. It's like you can't boo the man when he goes and takes a picture with the Make-A-Wish kid with the title. It's like I was sitting there and I was just like, I'm not even mad anymore. Like I can't get upset. It's not fair.
That was really funny.
Yeah, there was some absolute. God,
this was an amazing match,
dude. The way that John Cena sells some moves is the best.
Yeah.
Like when Styles hit him with he hit him with the enziguri, or it was during the Pele kick sequence, and Cena just like falls flat on his face.
Yeah.
And it just like, wow. Like they both made each other look like $1 million, but it's always nice when, for someone that, like, one of the big knocks against AJ when he came to the WWE is like, his size.
Yeah.
You know, but AJ wrestles big.
Yeah,
like, I was like, you could put AJ against Brock Lesnar, and I think people would just believe it, right?
I like when they put each other in the other's finishers at points.
Yeah.
Like Cena used the calf crusher, AJ used the STF.
Yeah.
I think Cena tried to do a Styles clash at one point.
He had him in like the position, but
Cena did the figure four.
Yeah,
Ric Flair's move.
Yeah,
that's a heel move.
Yeah, that was super heel.
I don't think it's like, John Cena heel turn. No, but it's a heel move.
But it was a heel move
to be like, I'm trying to tie Ric Flair's record. I'm going to use Ric Flair's submission move.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's tough.
John.
John, you scamp, you.
Yeah.
AJ kicked out of the Avalanche attitude adjustment again.
Yep.
Which was nice. And I actually really liked the finish to this, because AJ hit the Styles Clash, and then like he did in SummerSlam, he hit the Styles Clash, and then he went for the Phenomenal Forearm.
Yeah.
But this time, John caught him, hit an attitude adjustment, but then rolled
without letting go.
Without letting go, rolled into another attitude adjustment.
That was impressive.
So it's like, all right, it took like 2 finishers in a row to finish.
Oh yeah, no shame on anyone for this match. Really good match.
God damn, it was good. I can't remember the number of times I jumped out of my seat.
Really, really good match.
I've watched it already once, but I think in a couple of months I'll go back and watch it again just to see like where it stands.
Yeah.
Actually, the only thing I just want to put in that I'm really worried about is like, what the fuck does AJ Styles do for WrestleMania?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm terrified. I read a rumor somewhere it was gonna be Shane.
I read a like rumored, supposed like this is what they're thinking for the WrestleMania match card, right? Mm-hmm. And first of all, SmackDown getting the shaft in general, but like AJ and Dean.
Yeah.
The two guys who have carried the SmackDown brand.
Yeah.
And
along with Miz,
Dean carrying it for a while, like carrying everything for a while there.
Yeah.
Sort of like not even really getting much recognition on the card.
Yeah.
This is all rumors, but it's like...
It's all rumors. Like but when I read that stuff, you're just like, oh, please God, let it be a rumor. Because I don't want to watch AJ Styles against Shane McMahon.
No.
At WrestleMania.
No. I'm sure AJ would make it look real good.
I mean, AJ's going to make it a good match, right? But
yeah.
Still, I think he just, for the year he had and what he did, like he needs a payoff.
Yeah.
Like he just needs a good feud to, or something, a match, anything. Just give me anything but him against Shane.
Alrighty. The Royal Rumble.
We're here. Yeah.
30 men entering at 2-minute intervals.
Friend versus friend.
Foe versus foe. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah. Foe versus foe, like always.
Yeah.
That's what foes do. They versus one another. Mm-hmm. It's the terrible slogan.
It's an awful slogan. It's like, why?
Yeah.
But why?
But why, foe? Number 1.
Yep.
Big Cass.
Yeah.
Enzo and Cass come out. Enzo cuts a...
Well, they do that so Enzo can do that.
Can do his big promo.
So everyone gets to play along. It was fun to do it live.
Yeah, it was a good promo.
Yeah.
It was fine. And, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to win this thing. And the way that he said it was like, wow, that is a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that you believe it.
Yeah.
Like, go for it.
The thing I still really like about Enzo is, like, he talks all this trash and he believes he can back it up. He might not always, but, like, his picking fights with Rusev, like, the bigger guys still kind of knock him around. But he believes that he still has a chance against anyone, which comes into play later in the night. But.
Number 2, Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Yay.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So Jericho and Cass start.
Yeah.
And as a reminder for the Royal Rumble match, the only way to be eliminated is by being thrown over the top rope and land on the outside with both feet touching the floor.
Yeah.
And someone did the actual like timings on how much time between, and it was
really?
it was usually close. It was like a minute and a half, minute 45 to like 2 minutes to like 2 minutes 10. So it averaged to about 2 minutes, but obviously they massaged those times.
Yeah.
They fight for a bit.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens yet. Number 3.
A lot of this Rumble stuff is like they fight.
The people in the ring fight.
Yeah.
Number 3, Kalisto.
Yep.
Sure. Teeny little guy. Kalisto fighting Big Cass was really funny.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Yep.
Mojo Rawley. With his new tights.
He's got new tights. He got rid of the Zubas or whatever they're called. Is it Zubas?
I don't know.
Zubas? Zubas?
I have no idea.
They look dumb, but he looks a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Now that they shed the dead weight of Zack Ryder.
He's still hype. Don't talk about my boy like that. Oh boy.
I was poking the bear.
I
know. What kind of reaction can we get out of Graham Stark?
No eliminations yet. As number 5 enters, it's Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, that was sweet.
From the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah, good for him.
The extraordinary gentleman, Jack Gallagher.
Comes out with his umbrella.
Trots down to the ring.
Did you watch the Gentleman's Duel?
Yeah.
So Jack Gallagher is having a feud with...
Arya Davari?
It's Arya Davari.
Yeah.
And there was a point on Raw leading up to the Royal Rumble that Jack Gallagher because Arya Davari interfered in one of Jack Gallagher's matches.
Yep.
And then next week Jack Gallagher comes out with a microphone to officially announce that he's interfering in this match because he is not a scoundrel, which I thought was hilarious. I just thought it was really funny. It's just like, I am officially, because I am not a scoundrel, I am telling you face to face that I'm interfering in this match right now. So they ended up having a gentleman's duel. Like Arya Davari had like a lead pipe, and Jack Gallagher beat him up with an umbrella.
Yeah. So he comes down with the umbrella.
Yeah.
Because the Rumble's no DQ, I guess.
Yeah.
And he starts attacking people with the umbrella. He like nut shots Jericho with the umbrella.
Yeah.
And then like spins it and then drop kicks him.
The only bad thing about that spot was like the camera angle they had showed Chris Jericho spinning it when he was standing there, so it looked like kind of, it was like, oh, okay, but it was still fun. Like, this was like the only comedy spot in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only, I guess Ellsworth kind of.
Yeah, no, that was
The
pretty
Ellsworth
funny.
one, but Ellsworth one was actually really good. But they kept it like really low key as far as, it felt a very serious Rumble, which I didn't mind. Like,
No.
I like the comedy stuff, but I don't like I felt like this was the perfect amount.
Entrant number 6. Still no eliminations. Entrant number 6. Your home state boy, Mark Henry.
His pop was huge.
Not only was his pop huge, but people were desperately trying to sing along with his theme music. It was like, somebody go and get your ass kicked. Somebody go and get the thing lit. Ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Silsby, Texas.
Beat him up, break him down.
Break his neck, break his neck, break his neck, break his neck. No, there's other words. What? I don't know them.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't make noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, loud pop for Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Now, here's a funny thing that you didn't see on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger guys who either like can't run to the ring, because the entrance ramp is at the stage.
Yeah.
And then the ramp goes down to the floor, and then there's a long pathway to the ring, because
really
the ring
long.
is in the center of the arena under the big screens, like the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And the only way to reduce that distance would be to move the ring closer to the stage, which would look dumb because it wouldn't be in the middle, or move the stage closer to the ring, which means you lose seats.
Yeah.
So there's this long path. And for people who either can't like just run full tilt like 100 meters, or for people who it would look stupid for them to do so, there was this golf cart. And so they omitted it from the broadcast. But Mark Henry enters, walks down the ramp, and then it cuts to the ring. And what we saw was him then getting on the back of this golf cart with like a handle, like standing on it. Basically, there was a guy driving this golf cart, and then someone would stand on the back with like these handles, so they'd be standing there, and it would just go down the aisle, and then they'd get off and get in the ring. So you'd see them enter, it would cut to like random shots of nothing happening in the ring, and then would cut back to them much closer to the ring suddenly. And they did this for Mark Henry. Well, we'll tell you later because I don't want to spoil who's going to be in it in case you haven't seen it. But Mark Henry enters the ring, grabs Jack Gallagher, hurls him through the ropes. Not an elimination.
No.
Jack Gallagher jumps back up like Mary Poppins on the turnbuckle, tries to jump at him, and Mark Henry's just like, no, goodbye, and throws him out. So Jack Gallagher is the first elimination from the Rumble. Number 7. Braun.
The world's biggest Pokemon.
Braun Strowman was an all-star in this Rumble.
Yeah, he was great.
You remember, like, way back in the day, the way Kane would dominate a Rumble? That was Braun.
That's how it
he
felt.
did an amazing job.
I think he got like 7 eliminations.
Yeah, like he looked like a really credible threat. He sold well. I've been more and more impressed with Braun.
Yeah. I'm becoming a fan. Usually I really don't like big guys, right? Like I just don't like that big monster heel. Like it's never done it for me, even when I was a kid.
He gets into the ring. Also heads up, the way that the Royal Rumble works, I'm sure we talked about this last year, but anyone who enters is fresh, and anyone who's in the ring is exhausted. So someone new comes into the ring, and they take out everyone else in the ring. They do their finisher like 8 times, or they like knock people down, or just like forearms or whatever. So Strowman comes in, hurls Kalisto.
Strowman comes in on a little cart.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. Strowman also gets the cart. We saw it.
Yeah, it was great.
He eliminates Mojo.
Yeah.
And Cass misses his big boot, and he eliminates Big Cass.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, he was one of the other big guys.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Then he grabs... So he's thrown out Mojo and thrown out Big Cass, and then he just picks up Kalisto and goes, here, catch, whoop, and just hurls Kalisto the other two.
Yeah.
So Strowman has entered the ring and eliminated 3 guys.
Yeah. That seemed to be like the theme for this Royal Rumble was like big guy enters ring, cleans house.
Yeah.
Because it's like with the Royal Rumble too, it's like fill the ring and then someone comes and clears the ring.
Yeah.
And then you spend like 20 minutes filling the ring again and then someone clears the ring.
Now, I haven't mentioned Jericho for a while, and I won't because
He's hiding.
what he's spent most of the time doing was coming in, attacking people, and then going and hiding.
Yeah.
And he would like hide behind the commentary table.
Yeah.
You'd occasionally hear him on commentary. I think you heard him here being like, he's really big when he was talking about Strowman or something. I can't remember. And the commentary would be like, oh, you can hear Chris Jericho behind us. Yeah. Strowman and Mark Henry have a stare down.
Yep.
And Strowman eliminates Mark Henry.
Yeah. Much to the chagrin of the local Texas
Yeah.
news.
So there's like no one in the ring. It's him and Jericho now, I think.
Jericho's like hiding somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, that's everybody. So who is number 8? Well, we know who number 8 is.
Yeah.
It's Sami Zayn, who has beef with Strowman.
Yeah.
So they start fighting.
Yeah.
Because Sami, like, he may not have done it successfully, but he's got Strowman's number, even though he can't actually close the deal.
Yeah, he knows how to fight him.
Yeah.
And that's half the battle, right?
And Jericho sort of comes back in and like fights a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 9 though. Well,
yeah.
it's the big
He was
show.
looking thin as fuck. Holy shit,
he's been
dude.
working out.
Yeah.
He hasn't been around in a while. He's been working out. And man, the pop for Big Show.
That was crazy.
People
too.
love the Big Show.
I don't get it, but sure. Like
Yeah.
you can pop for whatever you want, man. Like,
But man, the ovation for when Big Show's music hit. Huge ovation. I don't know if it's a Big Show or just the will. It's over, but man, people popped.
I think it's the well.
So Big Show comes out over to the ring.
Fucking cart.
Big Show and Strowman have a big stare down.
Yeah.
And they have a tussle.
Yeah.
They have a legit tussle.
Yeah. They're gonna battle.
Yeah.
They battled.
And after not too long,
Yeah.
Strowman throws Big Show out.
Yeah. See you later, Big Show.
How do you stop
I
Strowman?
don't know, man. He's too big.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're big. People just can't throw you over that top rope.
Entrant number 10. 10. 10. 10. It's Ty Dillinger.
They can give us what we want sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this was our. Here's your nugget, you
Yeah.
little idiots. Like,
So what's really funny is that the reaction for Ty Dillinger was enormous.
it was awesome.
Maybe one of the pops of the night.
Yeah.
Just enormous reaction. And yet, the guy sitting beside Adam was like, who's this guy?
Yeah. And I got to be like,
Let me tell you about
let me
NXT,
tell
my
you.
friend.
Yeah. He's like, do you know NXT? He's like, kinda. I was like,
Kinda.
well, Ty Dillinger is a wrestler in NXT. His gimmick's the perfect 10. That's why, do you
why
know when
everyone counts 10.
people are getting counted out and everyone's just shouting 10? It's because of this guy. And he was like, oh,
Oh, okay.
all right. That was a very stark reminder. Stark reminder. That not everyone watches NXT.
No.
And that was like, yeah, it was weird just to sit there and like, my initial reaction was like, you don't know who Ty Dillinger is?
Yeah.
Like offended, but
Ty Dillinger, by the way, goes in and just starts going at Strowman.
yeah, it was great.
It was great. He's really quick. He was agile. He was ducking and weaving and
and
throwing
Sammy.
elbows.
Yeah.
And then him and Sammy go.
Yeah.
I like Sammy gets Strowman's head down and is like, "Get around here! Come on, get around here!" And Ty goes around the other side because they're going to try and both suplex him.
Yeah.
And the clock starts counting down, and they're like, "Can't quite do it." And then he's like, "No, I suplex both of you instead."
Yeah.
Because he's huge.
God, I hope that was his call up. It might not be.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't on WWE TV this week. But they might have needed him for NXT shows. I don't know if they're doing live shows right now or not. But God, please put Ty on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Please. Like Ty Dillinger versus The Miz?
Who's on Raw?
What do you mean? Who's on first?
No, like who? Reigns, Rollins, Owens, Jericho,
Yeah.
Rusev, Sammy,
Did you say Strowman?
Strowman.
And then like all the tag teams. I
Who's on Raw?
Spoiler alert, Samoa Joe now.
Yeah. Maybe Raw needs a face.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But are they gonna? Is Ty going to be able to flourish on Raw's roster?
Probably not.
Probably not. That's why I just want to see him on SmackDown. The selfish side of me just wants every wrestler to go to SmackDown because they get it feels like even though both shows are run by Vince, like he's still very hands on with both. It's not like
but the
writing staff is different.
Yeah. Number 11.
Yeah.
Any man with two hands can enter the Royal Rumble. It's James Ellsworth, accompanied by Carmella, because Carmella has, for whatever reason, taken a liking to James Ellsworth.
It hasn't been explained yet, but Ellsworth complimented her one time, and then she was like, "Oh, that's really sweet." And then someone made fun of him. Who made fun of Ellsworth? And Carmella defended him.
Someone backstage. I can't
Someone
remember.
backstage.
She was like, "Hey."
Yeah, it's like, he's all right, just because he doesn't have a chin.
Yeah.
Like, and then now Ellsworth has been interfering in all of Carmella's matches for her to let her win.
And now she's like taking him on shopping trips to get him decked out in better clothes.
Did you see that her clothes at the Rumble, she had Ellsworth faces all over her pants?
All over her tights?
Yeah.
Terrific.
It's A+, man. Like, this is good. Good for Ellsworth, man.
Yeah.
Funny story, I never thought I'd utter this sentence in my entire life, but we saw James Ellsworth outside of Margaritaville. So
What a weird...
we were at Margaritaville.
He had just been accosted by a bunch of wrestling fans, some of whom were dressed like Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And we tried to pop out.
The world's worst Roman Reigns, like budget, like Spaceballs, you caught their stunt doubles, you idiots. Like Roman Reigns. The Kevin Owens looked great.
Yeah.
By the way, but the Roman Reigns was definitely like...
And by the time we got outside to try and get a picture with him, he understandably looked like he was done.
Not having any of it.
James, we've talked on this podcast before about how we wish you nothing but the best, and we think that it's great that you found success on SmackDown. Were it me, I would have, in that situation, opted to not wear the shirt with my own face on it.
Was he wearing it?
Yeah,
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, he
oh
was.
my god. What an idiot.
I hope you had a good night.
Now I want to wear a shirt with my face on it everywhere.
I hope you had a good meal at Hooters. Strowman.
I forgot he went to Hooters. That whole thing. Okay, so
By the way,
the full sentence is Graham and I saw James Ellsworth outside of Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville before he went into Hooters.
Yes. Which is next door. And I get, by the way, because we get people coming up to us, and I understand the idea of like at the end of a long day and you're just done.
Yeah.
And you just don't have the mental energy to deal with people who want to get photos or whatever. I totally get that. Yeah. But maybe don't wear the shirt with your face.
Number 12!
So Ellsworth doesn't even get in the ring.
No.
Because Carmella's like, go, get in the ring.
Because Strowman's standing.
Because Strowman's in the ring. And remember, Ellsworth and Strowman have history.
They have beef.
And Strowman's just like, come on in. And Ellsworth is like...
I think this is the point where I was like, all right, Strowman's pretty great. Like, he's just like, come on, man.
Like, and Ellsworth is like, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So this, while this is happening, Zayn and Dillinger they like come up behind Strowman and try to get him over the rope, and he ends up fighting back. And that they faff around long enough for number 12.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose. So Ambrose runs down, and this is a good comedy bit. This was the other comedy bit. Is Ambrose is like, it's okay, Ellsworth. You and me, man, we're friends, right? We got this. You and me, we're gonna take out Strowman. You and me, here we go. Ready on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And he starts to run, and Ellsworth tears into the ring, and Dean's like, nope.
Gave him the old razzle dazzle, the pump fake.
And Ellsworth goes in the ring, gets flattened by Strowman, who then just picks him up and hurls him out of the ring.
No, and nobody caught Ellsworth.
What a bump.
Just threw him straight over the top rope, and he hit the floor.
From Strowman's arms to the floor.
Yeah. I was
Wham.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We just watched a man die.
But he was walking around fine later, so. James Ellsworth is eliminated. So then Ambrose runs in, and Dillinger and Zayn and Ambrose are all sort of like circle fighting, trying to take Strowman down.
Yeah.
Number 13, the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin.
Dude, we didn't get a chance to talk this because they didn't have that new entrance. But when we talked about Roadblock or the last pay-per-view, Baron Corbin's entrance, it's the same, like the lights and the red to whatever.
Yeah.
But on the background, there's like this ruined city
Like
kind
a
of thing.
post-apocalyptic cityscape.
And then this like black ink like leaks down.
Just covers
it all
everything.
black, but it also goes to the floor.
Yeah.
The floor
It just
graphic.
follows
And it
with it.
looks fucking awesome.
It looks really cool.
Oh, I love it. It makes Baron Corbin look like a star too.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's just something about that thing. It's just like, fuck yeah. And Baron Corbin was the MVP of the Royal Rumble. He was the best one. I felt
he was really good.
I felt he was better than Strowman, just as far as like the way Corbin worked with people.
That's fair.
The way he worked in the match, like
I think there's a couple people have solid shots at MVP. I think Strowman's very high on that list.
I think like if you told me like if you say hey Strowman was MVP, I'm like that's fair.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn too was in there forever.
Yeah, and Chris Jericho, of course. So we'll talk about
this.
This
comes to one of my favorite parts of the Rumble.
Yeah,
because there's a bit of faffing about, and
Strowman eliminates Dillinger.
That's what it is.
Which people are bummed about.
Yeah,
but
we were like, whatever.
Yeah, everyone's like, boo, but I get it.
There was a great tweet by Triple H about how he's like the 10 spot in the Rumble wasn't gifted, and it wasn't. God, what wording did he use? He was like gifted in something, but it was earned. And I was like, yeah, it makes like because the perfect 10 gimmick, right? Like it was just such a great tweet. I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. Like, good for you, Ty.
And so then everyone's basically teaming up on Strowman.
Yeah.
And they sort of beat him up a little bit. Sammy connects with a haluva kick, and Strowman is dazed.
Yeah.
And then Corbin just with this
comes out
brutal clothesline. Wham! And
dude, he came like 100 miles an hour across that ring.
And Strowman just whoop, boom, gone.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin eliminated Braun Strowman.
The pop was massive.
It was
too. Like,
huge.
we were all shocked because we thought Strowman would probably be one of the last people left.
Yeah.
Like, but hey, man, like, yeah, it was great. It was like another great moment. Just like holy, like one of those holy shit moments.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, they actually just dumped him out. Like,
I think that did elicit a holy shit chant from the crowd.
I think so. Yeah.
Number 14, Kofi Kingston, the first of the 3 members of the New Day.
Yeah.
Who always does some sort of ridiculous, goofy stuff.
Yeah, and his big avoiding elimination spot, because that's what Kofi does. Every Royal Rumble, Kofi has like a different thing that he like. He'll get thrown over the ropes and he avoids elimination.
He like walked around his hands. He'll land on the New Day. He landed on the barricade.
Which one was it? Last year, or was it during the Andre the Giant Battle Royal when Cesaro launched him over the corner and then he landed with like his tippy toes on the steps? Yeah,
I think that was a previous Rumble.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite one. But
this one was he went up on the turnbuckle and Corbin shoved him backwards and he landed with his rib cage on the top of the turnbuckle lights.
Yeah, and
then just went wham and slid over backwards and caught himself.
Yeah,
and
it looked painful.
It looked painful, but it was very impressive.
Yeah.
Also,
last year was when Kofi, they caught him on the outside. He was drinking,
carried him around.
And eating popcorn. Yeah.
There was this moment because you mentioned Corbin where Ambrose like flings Corbin out of the ring, like under the bottom rope.
Yeah.
And Corbin just like slides under the bottom rope, goes around the turnbuckle and right back in, lightning fast.
Yeah. Dude's fast.
He's so fast for a guy of his size.
Since when did all the big guys get lightning quick?
He's so fast.
You know what I mean? Like because Strowman's fast, Corbin's fast, Samoa Joe is extremely fast.
Yeah.
Like I think we've safely moved on from the Great Khali era.
Yeah.
Of big men, which is nice.
Number 15.
Yep.
The Miz.
Oh yeah.
Entering to his own music.
Didn't come out to Dan and Bryan's music. God, could you imagine how fucking awesome that would have been?
Yeah. He immediately hits the skull-crushing finale on Sammy, but can't actually...
can't pin him.
Can't pin him. And there's more... Everyone's fighting around in the ring.
Yeah.
Number 16, Sheamus,
who
comes into the ring and knocks everyone down.
Yeah.
Number 17, Big E, who also gets the...
he gets the little cart.
To the ring. He puts the abdominal stretch on Miz and spanks him with the New Day rocks.
The New Day thing, yeah.
He and Kofi start working together. Kofi jumps off his back and hits Miz in the corner, and they both try to eliminate the Miz.
Yeah.
The Miz, by the way, he hit the skull-crushing finale on Sammy, and then I think the rest of his Rumble was getting hit with every single finisher under the sun.
The Miz?
Yeah. He got hit by so many finishers.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's one of my one of my complaints about the Rumble, about this Rumble, is that The Miz and Dean
Yeah.
and Dolph.
Just punching bags.
Well, no, and Sammy to an extent. When they eventually get eliminated,
Yeah.
there is no fanfare, or it's not an interesting elimination. It's just being chucked out like a jobber, right? It's just like
by either
Ellsworth, right? It was just like,
though, at least it was by either Brock or the Undertaker.
yeah, I know, but it's like
That's how I read
those guys don't show up that often. It's
But that's
it's the whole part-timer debate.
But
again,
that's
right?
the world we live in, right?
I know.
Like part-timers are on another level.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number 18, still no eliminations since I mentioned the last one. Number 18, Rusev, wearing a ridiculous...
How did that happen?
On Raw, he broke his nose.
It's just like, it wasn't part of a storyline, it just like happened. And
I think so.
I don't remember.
He's wearing like the dashing Cody Rhodes mask.
Yeah. Yeah, because they didn't like acknowledge it as part of a storyline or anything.
Yeah, they were just like, he broke his nose on Raw.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And almost eliminates Sheamus immediately by hitting him with a spin kick, but it doesn't.
It is not.
Number 19, Cesaro.
Yay.
Who enters the ring and hits a Cesaro swing on like
everybody.
Who
was it that he didn't spin though? Big E? He was too heavy?
Yeah, he couldn't spin Big E because he was too heavy, but he did manage to get Corbin.
Yeah.
But like it put him off kilter, and so he was so dizzy from trying to spin Corbin that someone walked up to him and he knocked him over and was about to spin him before realizing it was Sheamus.
That was a brilliant piece of work.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that.
And Sheamus was like, no, buddy. And then he's like, or fella, I guess. Yeah. And then Cesaro was like, well, should I? So I looked into the crowd like, should I do this? And then he gets hit from behind with a super kick from Rusev. Number 20, Xavier Woods.
Yay.
Now we've got the whole New Day in there.
Who? We met Xavier Woods.
We did.
And
we met him.
He was an incredible human being.
He was great.
Took some time to talk to us about wrestling, and it was cool, man.
We gave him mad props because we talked about this on the show for the whole angle with the Wyatts and making the Wyatts feel like a believable threat. And Adam asked him about the beard because we mentioned that on the show as well. It's like, now you were growing the beard like for that, like Xavier wasn't getting sleep kind of thing, like for the storyline. And he said that yes, that's why, and thanked us for noticing, and said that a bunch of people backstage also didn't get where that story was going, but that they were like, please just let us do this.
Yeah.
And
we
so
even asked,
glad.
like, is there a lot of times where like you want to do something and they're like, no, and it's like he's like, yeah. There's a lot. It's like, fair enough. Like, they still have to. It's still a business, right?
Yeah.
You can't just like do whatever you want. But
it was great to meet him.
Dude, it was like that's the first time I've legitimately felt starstruck.
That was great. Yeah.
Like meeting him, I just didn't know what to. You just don't know what to say. You're like,
I told him what the podcast was. I was like, the podcast is called Sidewalk Slam. Not that you need to listen to us talking about your job.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want to listen to it.
Yeah. We gave him a shirt though.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see that shirt pop up somewhere.
Maybe it'll be on
day.
Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah.
I doubt it'll be on
no, it will not
be on
Raw.
WWE, but it could be on Up, Up, Down,
It might be
Down.
on Up, Up, Down, Down one day. So keep for those of you who have the time to watch Up, Up, Down, Down, because we do not.
Although, hey, keep an eye out for, there's going to be a video, I assume on Up, Up, Down, Down, of people trying to win tickets to the Rumble by doing a bottle flip challenge.
Yeah.
And they were shooting it on like a cell phone, and I was also shooting a wide shot of it on my phone. And I talked to one of their producers afterwards. Was like, do you want this footage? And I can just give it to you. And they were like, oh, sweet, and gave me a shirt, but it was too big, so Adam has a shirt. And I was like, if you could put my name in the video description, that'd be great. And so that'll be up at some point.
Oh, did you send it to them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. So. Trying to weasel our way in, basically.
Yeah.
That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Like any little crack. We're just checking for cracks, right?
Happy to help.
How can we slither our way in here?
Number 21, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, dude. Experiencing Bray's entrance live was so sick. Like you look, it looks more impressive than it does on TV. I think during the Raw there was a still shot of Bray's entrance, and it looked. They showed him on the card.
Yeah,
but it showed the arena and like all the people that have all their phones on and stuff, and fuck, it was cool.
It's not that he can't make it to the ring under his own power, but
he just walks slow.
Bray Wyatt doesn't run during his entrance.
No,
it would look weird.
running with his lantern, like
Yeah.
clanking back and forth. Yeah.
But it was great. And he gets in the ring and just starts cleaning house with clotheslines.
Yeah. There's a great moment between Xavier
Xavier.
and
Where he like faces down and is like, oh
no,
you,
yeah,
oh, and like steals himself and then goes to attack him, and it's really
it's pretty great.
Number 22, Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Why?
Like
Even like the crowd was just like,
oh,
why?
This is one of my small complaints about the Rumble is that we still don't know anything about this guy.
No, we don't.
He's athletic and he smiles and that's it. And I know we say that a lot.
Last time he was on an episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, that's the thing is like there's no reason for us to care that
Yeah.
Apollo Crews is in the Rumble. We know he's not going to win it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, that could have been a more interesting competitor.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but we know nothing about him.
Yeah. Another one of my small complaints, I hated this. Sheamus and Cesaro eliminate all 3 members of the New Day at once.
You hated that?
Yeah, just because I wanted to see them do more stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like
I liked it as far as like...
I have an overall small complaint about this Rumble, which is like the whole point to me. What excites me about the Royal Rumble is that it really, especially this year, there really is. You never know who's going to win.
Yeah.
And I love when they make someone when it's like a surprise, when it's like, holy crap, I can't believe that person won. You know, and I had like an outside thought that like maybe I don't know, maybe Kofi wins, right?
Yeah. Maybe
Wouldn't that be
Big E
sweet?
wins.
Or maybe Big E. Or like, why wouldn't someone from the New Day go on to challenge for the title at WrestleMania? It doesn't have to be against Kevin Owens. It could be someone else in the interim, right? It's like to really get this idea that anybody could win. Maybe Baron Corbin could win, right? Like any of these people. And so I found the eventual winner kind of a letdown for that reason because it was like, okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about
This
it.
is again. This is me.
Yeah.
Adam and I do not always agree.
No, we don't. Believe it or not,
But we do agree that
maybe people want more tension between us. Maybe they just want us yelling at each other.
we do agree that
Grab you fucking Mark.
Apollo Crews was not an exciting
No,
entrant
it
in the
is
Rumble.
not.
So right after he gets in, Sheamus and Cesaro.
I think that the longer, and especially with every Royal Rumble, wrestling fans get more restless the longer we go without a debut or some surprise entrance.
Yeah.
And to get someone like Apollo Crews who hasn't really done anything, we're just like, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Like,
Some years you'll have like 4 or 5 interesting returns, and this was not an exciting Rumble for surprises.
a great Rumble for storylines.
Yeah.
They built and they started a lot of threads.
Yeah.
In this whole thing, and it was great.
Like I said, overall the Royal Rumble match was really good.
Yeah.
But so the New Day gets eliminated, and then Sheamus tries to eliminate Cesaro,
It was
and
awesome.
while they're fighting, Jericho eliminates both of them.
Yeah.
So that's 5 guys eliminated right there.
Yeah.
Just boom, 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 boom.
And then Sheamus and Cesaro have a really great, like, kind of like heated stare down outside the ring. I really like that Sheamus did that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, just
He's still kind
I
of
don't
a
want to
dick.
see them break up, but
No.
there's still tension, right?
Number 23,
Yep.
Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah.
Who, by the way, I knew, I like Randy a lot.
Yep.
I did not realize how much people liked Randy.
Dude, people love Randy Orton.
Holy hell. Like the pop in the arena, like you don't quite get it until you're there live because you hear he enters on TV and people cheer. It's like, hey, it's Randy Orton. Of course, people like him.
Yeah.
But no, people love Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Huge pop for Randy.
Yeah. I found that watching it too, I was like, it was definitely louder than that
Yeah.
when we were
yeah.
there, right?
And he just starts RKOing everybody.
Yep.
Everybody in the ring.
That's all
gets
people want to see,
RKO'd.
right?
Sammy does a top rope thing, RKO.
Yeah. He does the flying nothing.
Yeah.
He like jumps forward with his arms at his sides, like neck forward, like please.
Number 24, Dolph Ziggler.
Yep. Who had a heel turn?
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler.
In the interim.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy now.
Dolph Ziggler and the build up to Royal Rumble, not that they mentioned it, they mentioned it briefly on commentary, I think. Did they? I don't think they did. Anyway,
I think so.
Dolph Ziggler has not been winning a lot lately, and he's getting really frustrated. And he had a match with Kalisto, and he lost to Kalisto, and he attacked him afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Dolph goes backstage, and he's throwing stuff around, And people are like it's like the good guy locker room. Like, you know, all the good guys are sitting around in the locker room and they're like, Dolph, come on, man, relax. And Dolph just headbutts Apollo Crews, which is pretty awesome. So we've got to heel Dolph Ziggler now.
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't have any bearing on this match.
Nope, not at all.
It's friend versus friend and foe versus foe.
Yeah.
So he comes out and does super kicks to everybody.
Yeah.
Number 25, Luke Harper.
Yeah!
Now, this was interesting. Kind of a muted response for Luke Harper. Like, not like a massive pop when he came out. It's sort of like, oh, yeah, Luke Harper, all right, cool. But wait. We'll come back to Luke later.
Wait.
He hits Crews with an elbow, or he throws Crews over the top rope, but Crews holds on, and then he elbows him on the outside, and so he eliminates Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
So, Harper's there, Orton is there. They have not been getting along.
Yeah.
I've said previously that I think they're moving too fast in the storyline, but whatever, we're here now.
We should reiterate, the last SmackDown of the year, the Wyatts lost the tag team titles.
Yes.
Remember how we talked about, boy, I hope the Wyatts keep these belts for a while? They did not. No. The Wyatts lost the tag team titles in was it a tag team turmoil match or an elimination
to American
match?
Alpha.
To American Alpha, which good for them.
Who haven't been mentioned all night, but whatever.
Nope, they haven't. They're not even here tonight. No. But yeah, the Wyatts lost. There was a bit of a miscommunication between Luke and Randy.
Yeah.
It's such regular names like, Luke and Randy. But there's a miscommunication which caused Randy to kind of fall off the top rope. And then American Alpha pinned him. So they've been kind of building on that, the tension. They had been building it, but now it's getting a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
Randy and Luke had a singles match.
Yeah.
On a episode of SmackDown, which Randy won, and then Bray gave Luke a Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
After the match was over, which they sold on commentary as just tough love.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
like he was kicking him out of the group.
like a punishment sort of thing.
Yeah.
So Luke and Randy are sort of facing each other down, and Bray gets between them and is like, he gets mostly up in Luke's face and is like, okay, chill. We're all in the family here. Don't attack Randy. And at the same time, he's got a hand back to Randy, being like, keep your distance, kind of thing. This will all be fine. And Luke is like, no, and just clotheslines Bray Wyatt.
It was pretty crazy.
And then Randy's so surprised that Luke catches him with a big boot.
Yeah.
And it's a very big boot because Luke's tall.
Yeah.
His baggy clothes obscure the fact that he's a very large man.
The baggy clothes make Luke look less imposing a little bit than he really is. Like, he's a big dude.
And then he picks up Bray and sets up Bray for the Sister Abigail, Bray's finisher.
Yeah.
And that is a huge pop.
Yeah, it was
People
crazy.
are like, oh no, what? That was amazing.
It was so sick. And then
he kisses him on the head, but doesn't quite connect because Randy hits him with an RKO.
Yeah.
And doesn't eliminate him, but sort of that sort of
storyline. Fuck, I hate how.
So Harper is now face.
Yeah.
Bray is still heel.
Yeah.
Randy is.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Bray's a heel, but we don't really boo him.
No.
Right? We don't. We don't. It's like Kevin Owens. Like, I never boo the man.
Entrant number 26.
Yep.
Remember that we know 3 other people who are in this Rumble.
Yeah.
And there's only 5 people
There's
left.
5 spots. We know Lesnar, Goldberg, and Taker still have to show up.
Yeah. So we're like, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Number 26, Brock Lesnar.
Bork Laser!
Brock enters the ring and just dumps Ambrose and Ziggler like it's nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, at least...
Well, at least remember last year when Big Show and Kane were just dumping everybody out?
Just, like, at least...
Was that last year? No.
I don't know. At least let them do something, right? Like, that was my thing, was just like, Ambrose has been in there fighting people, and Brock is just like, just gets in the ring, picks Ambrose up and chucks him like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then picks up Ziggler and is like, I get that it's Brock Lesnar, the unstoppable beast, but like...
that kind of character who's just that unstoppable? Like, I don't want to see somebody that unstoppable.
Okay. Then Lesnar suplexes everybody, hits an F5 on Miz.
Yeah.
I mentioned
Miz just
eating all the
every
finishers.
finisher, yeah.
Lesnar's the only one standing as the countdown for number 27 hits. Who's it going to be? Enzo Amore.
Yeah.
And you mentioned he believes it.
Yeah.
He's standing at the top of the ramp and he does like the gestures like the championship belt around his waist. And he's like, this, and points at Lesnar. He's like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
Let's go on a journey together.
And he runs in the ring and gets leveled with a clothesline.
Yeah.
Just like does the Lesnar hits him and he just spins around like a top and just crumples, and then picks him up and
throws him out,
chucks him out. So
that's it.
Enzo Amore is out immediately.
Did you ever wonder, like, for part timers too, like when you're looking at them perform in a Royal Rumble, like Brock Lesnar, like he showed up and he's probably he does like maybe 10 minutes of work.
Yeah.
And then goes home and he's like, I got paid more than you do in 5 years. Like, it's like, fuck.
Well, when you're a draw.
Yeah.
I saw Brock Lesnar as well, by the way.
Yeah, I missed out on this.
We were having lunch at a steakhouse because it was a business lunch, so we weren't paying for it. Yeah. And we were walking out, and James just goes, "Well, holy shit!" And I'm like, "What?" And I look over, and it's Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
No one else.
Yeah.
Just Lesnar and Heyman.
Were they being accosted?
Like friends? No, because it was quiet. There wasn't that many people, and because it's a steakhouse, so people from PAX aren't going to really be there.
True.
And they were being seated at like the furthest, darkest corner of the dining room.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I could have resisted going up and saying something.
I had an opportunity as they were passing by to be like, I'm a big fan of your work, but I was so stunned seeing them in person. People say this to us all the time whenever they come up to our booth. They're like, it's so weird seeing you in real life and not in my computer. Yeah. And just processing the fact that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman were right there in front of me, I was like,
that's so cool.
And then they were too far away, and I would have had to have like gone back, and they're having lunch, and I'm like, yeah. Also, like, I've seen interviews with Brock, and he's a very affable guy. Like, I saw an interview with him at a Winnipeg Jets game, and he's like, "Yeah, my son loves the Jets. It's great. I live in Canada, by the way." Yeah. And he was like super genial and whatever, but he's still a really imposing guy. And I'm like, I don't want to bother him while he's having lunch.
Fucking Bork Laser just turn you inside out.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, I will let him be.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very large man. Also large, we ran into Matt Bloom.
Yeah, dude. Matt
AKA
Bloom.
A-Train Albert Lord Tensai, who's the head trainer at NXT.
Yeah.
And fuck, he's massive.
He's a big dude.
He's like, he's got like maybe an inch of height on you, and you're 6'5", except
6'5".
he's also as wide as a smart car.
Yeah. He's got a big dome too.
Yeah.
He's got a big head.
And so we were just like, he was coming out of a hotel, and we were like, Mr. Bloom, thank you for all of your hard work. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
he's like,
he obviously had places to be, but he was like, hey, cool, and shook our hand. And nice.
That was super nice of him. Yeah.
Another large human being, number 28, Goldberg. Now, I knew this was happening because while Enzo was running towards the ring, the stagehands up on the stage were bringing up the little pyro plates to fire the thing. So I was like, Goldberg is next.
And I was like, Graham, you fuck, stop rooting this for me. Spoilers, Graham.
The funniest part, though, was to watch the golf cart, because there was the ramp down from the stage, but there was also a ramp down to the house right of the stage.
Yeah.
Because the golf cart was like sitting off there, so in between times when they wouldn't need it, it would be like up onto the stage, over and down, and then a couple times later, it'd be like go up and over and back, and I'd be like, I guess Big Show's out next. And it's like, why are they setting up for it otherwise? So, anyway, Goldberg, huge reaction for Goldberg.
It was fun to chant Goldberg.
Yeah,
even though like not the biggest Goldberg fan, but it was fun to do it.
Yeah, and
what happens?
I don't know, man. What did happen? He got in the ring.
Yeah, ducks a clothesline
from Lesnar. Spears Lesnar. Lesnar sells the spear like he's been winded like no one ever before. Yeah. Like he looks like he's been winded like a child who fell off the monkey bars.
Yeah.
He's just like like taken out.
Yeah.
And then he like stands up and Lesnar just like whoop, just dumps him out.
Yeah.
That's Brock Lesnar eliminated in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, and Goldberg, I think like when Lesnar falls to the outside, Goldberg says something like one more time or something, which either alludes to he's beaten him another time or he wants to have another match kind of thing. So
Orton and Wyatt both try to take out Goldberg, and he hits them with a double spear.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool.
I think Goldberg hits a jackhammer on Sami Zayn at one point.
Yeah.
And then doesn't Goldberg just eliminate a bunch of people? Like
not yet, because Number 29.
Oh yeah, this was so fucking cool.
The Undertaker.
Yeah, just the bong. There's when the Undertaker does his entrance. There's a like a church bell, like a bong, and the lights go out, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's just to experience it live.
Flame pots go off on the stage. There's the lightning graphics.
There's like a mood on the big screen and shit.
And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, the golf cart hasn't come back out. So how's he going to do his entrance?
Yeah.
Well, the best way to get Undertaker into the ring is because he's a demon in magic or something. He's an undead wizard.
He's an undead wizard.
I'm looking at the stage with the flame pots, and then I look down at the ring, and I'm like, Adam, he's in the ring.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I look down at the ring just as he's standing up.
I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
Do the wrestlers stay under the ring the whole fucking time?
No, I'm pretty sure he came in from, because you notice that they came in from the ramp, but then when they got eliminated, they go out the side near the timekeeper's area. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that he just came in from that way while everyone was distracted.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you know what I always thought when I was a kid? That either A, stayed underneath the ring, or there was a fucking tunnel that they're like a duct, you know, that
like
they
the Great Escape. Which is also not possible.
Yeah, but it's not possible. But that's when I was a kid. I always pictured the wrestler like doing the shimmy, and then they get into the ring and stuff. So
so the lights come back up, and Undertaker's just in the ring, behind Goldberg.
Yeah, it was great.
Goldberg throws Rusev over. Yeah. Undertaker throws Corbin over. Goldberg hits Undertaker with a spear, and then tosses over Harper. And then while he's distracted from tossing over Harper, Undertaker throws over Goldberg. It's very quick.
The way you said that, just Red Rover, Goldberg throws Rusev over.
Yeah. Like Rusev gets eliminated without much fanfare. Corbin gets chucked by the Undertaker. Yeah. Hits Taker with a spear, which takes Undertaker down briefly. Yeah. Luke Harper gets thrown over, and then Undertaker throws Goldberg over. And Goldberg like throws Harper over and is like yelling at him, and then Undertaker throws him over, and then Goldberg is like, I screwed that up. Yeah. He's like mad at himself for being distracted when Undertaker was in the ring. Yeah. And he's like, oh, damn it. God. Oh. Yeah. Oh. That was a mistake.
It's pretty great.
You know, he's being really hard on himself. So then it's like Undertaker, Miz, Zayn, and Jericho.
Yeah. And well.
Yeah. Oh, and Orton and Wyatt. Yeah.
Because doesn't Taker eliminate?
Well, so next,
30 first.
Yeah. All so next is Zayn and Miz tried to take out Undertaker. Good job, guys. Yeah, I admire your spirit. It doesn't work. Number 30. So
who hasn't shown up yet that we would want? Who was in the heat of the moment? Who did you think it was? At that when the countdown started for number 30?
I thought it was either I would have put money on either Finn Balor or Samoa Joe.
I was putting my entire paycheck on Finn Balor coming out.
Because Finn Balor got injured. His roadmap for recovery was February, so this would have been early. His roadmap for recovery was early March. But, crazy things have happened, right? Maybe they said it was for early March so that he could return for the Rumble. You never know, right? And man, wouldn't that have been sweet. Samoa Joe, we know he was in San Antonio because they made a point of showing him at TakeOver. Yeah. Maybe that would have been the angle. Surprise Samoa Joe, this beast of a guy comes out. Yeah. There's other guys it could have been, but I'm not sure. Right. Number 30. Everyone's on their feet because number 30. Right. Who's it going to be? Last year it was Triple H, which was a huge surprise. Number 30 is generally whoa, what's this? And we're on our feet, and number 30. And it's Roman Reigns. And some people cheer and some people boo, and Adam and I, our arms drop to our sides, and we just look at each other in silence and sit down.
Not a word was said. It was really funny just between just the two of us. The same reaction was who's it going to be? And we're counting, and then, we're just just instantly,
just sucking the energy out of the room.
I remember just looking at you, and just you looked at me at the same time. We just sat down, and everyone else is standing around us, and there's me and Graham.
There's a bullshit chant. Not this is bullshit. That comes later. Yeah. There was just a bullshit chant that I don't think you could hear on the.
I think you could hear it vaguely.
And yeah, Roman Reigns comes to the ring and starts exchanging shots with the Undertaker.
Yep.
Hits him with the Superman punch, which only sort of dazes Undertaker. And Taker chokeslams Reigns, and then while Reigns is taken out briefly, Undertaker eliminates both Miz and Zayn.
Yep.
Just Miz and Sammy over the top rope. So now we're Final Four? No, we're not quite Final Four, because first, Undertaker hits a chokeslam on Jericho. Mm-hmm. And somehow, I guess distracted by the chokeslam on Jericho, Reigns throws Undertaker out of the Rumble.
Yes.
Now, granted, Undertaker hits the floor and immediately sits bolt upright with his like dead man sit up.
Positives for this little bit here.
Yeah.
Reigns looked awesome. Like he did. He looked badass.
Yeah.
Like not saying awesome as in like I think he's awesome, but just the way he looked and the way he sold it and the look.
Did you see what he said to Undertaker?
No.
This is my yard.
Damn.
Remember
really?
my yard was like his whole thing when he was Big Evil, right? Was like, this is my yard. I
noticed that, yeah. And Undertaker did this thing where when he sat bolt up and he like looked first with like he looked sideways first and then turned his head.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked really cool.
And they sort of exchanged this look, and it's like, so they've sown the seed for Reigns to face Undertaker at WrestleMania, and for Reigns to amuse himself in the meantime with a feud against Strowman, because obviously he's not going to be fighting Undertaker week to week.
Yeah. In kayfabe, though, which I think we were both pissed off about, is like, why is Roman in the Royal Rumble?
Not even why. I mean, yes, why, actually. Let's start with the why.
Yeah.
Reigns was in a title match.
Yeah.
Reigns could have won that match and been champion. Mm-hmm. And then what? He enters the Rumble and wins the Rumble and fights himself?
All right, there we go. Now we're talking.
Vince's dream is Roman Reigns in the ring playing with himself. Like what? Why is he in there? Why wasn't, if Reigns gets to be, why wasn't AJ in there?
Yeah.
AJ had a match earlier. But apart from the why, the how. Reigns was in a no DQ match against Kevin Owens and got demolished. Like got hit with brass knuckles, got thrown through stuff. He got put through a table. Then he got picked up by Strowman and destroyed and put through another table.
2 tables, actually. Announce table and the table in the corner.
Yeah. And he got incapacitated to the point that he couldn't move in a no DQ match like an hour ago. I guess like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then he comes out number 30 like it's nothing and eliminates The Undertaker.
Yep.
It's the same thing we talked about with the accolade with the chain in the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like he wasn't even like limping or anything.
No, he wasn't selling his injuries at all.
The next night on Raw, Kevin Owens was limping.
Yeah. He comes out and eliminates Undertaker. Yeah. Which got a massive "this is bullshit" chant, which you could definitely hear on the broadcast.
Yeah.
It's
maddening. But
it's not believable. And I can suspend my so mad. I'm coughing mad.
Yes.
I can suspend my disbelief for all sorts of outlandish bullshit on wrestling. Yeah. But I can't suspend my disbelief for that because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I think that the more I thought about it, and I'm sure there's other people, like I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here because we get it basically just Undertaker gets eliminated.
Well, I mean, now we're down to Final Four.
Yeah, and then Jericho gets eliminated by Reigns.
Yeah, with a Superman punch.
And then
Chris Jericho, by the way, had been in the Rumble for 61 minutes at that point.
Shout out,
which also makes him the record holder for longest cumulative time in the Rumble.
I thought Triple H was longer.
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Oh, he beat
Jericho just got an hour, right?
Oh, okay.
Jericho's got almost 5 hours. And Trips has like a little more than 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all right, good for him.
Yeah, he was bragging about it on the Raw.
That's what it was.
Night.
For some reason, I thought I heard it differently, I guess. But anyway,
So then it's down to Orton and Wyatt and Reigns.
Yeah, and you think that, okay, please don't let Reigns beat both of these guys and win the Royal Rumble.
In a 2-on-1?
Because remember what happened at Survivor Series? How we thought that fucking Reigns was just going to man up and like defeat. Thank God he didn't. He didn't eliminate either of them. But Reigns eliminates Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, yeah.
And so we're just like, holy fuck, man. Like, we were just like, God, he's going to win this, isn't he?
When it was the 3 there, what I wanted to happen, and I said this to Adam at the time, what I wanted to happen was for, because this would have been a really interesting end to the Royal Rumble that they never would have done before.
Yeah.
For Orton and Wyatt to eliminate Reigns, and then Orton to throw himself over to give the win to Bray. That would have been
so sick.
Super cool, because they've never done something like that before.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, Reigns eliminates Bray Wyatt like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then you're down to Orton and Reigns, and we're all just like, please, no. Please don't do this.
Don't do this to us.
And Orton manages to hit an RKO out of nowhere. Reigns, like an idiot, hits the floor and pops back up to a standing position, allowing Orton to throw him over for Randy's second Royal Rumble victory.
Yeah. And I think that what I thought about, and again, like I said, I'm sure smarter minds have come up way before I did, but I only thought of this today, was like Reigns was put in that number 30 spot to get the crowd to cheer the Randy win.
Yeah,
because like if Randy won that, but it eliminated, let's say, Jericho last, like we would have booed it probably.
Yeah, I would have had no problem with Randy winning it, but it would have been a letdown to me. In the face of all the other people that could do it and could use that momentum from winning the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Like Jericho winning and having Jericho versus Owens as like a best friends having to fight one another thing. Mm-hmm. Sammy could have believably won that.
Yeah.
You know, I still think someone from the New Day could have won it. I think Baron Corbin could have won it. Like I think it's more interesting when the Rumble does do, like whoa, look at that. Yeah. Anybody can win the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I wouldn't have been upset or bummed about it, but it would have been a little bit of a letdown if Randy had won it under other circumstances.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Reigns' surprise comes out at number 30, and it's like, anybody but Roman, anybody but Roman, anybody but Roman. Randy won! Randy won! Randy won! Randy's going to WrestleMania! It's
but
like,
wait, and then you realize, wait a second, who's the champion of SmackDown?
John Cena.
Orton versus Cena. Orton versus Cena. Orton versus Cena. Orton versus Cena. All right. Once in a lifetime.
So the hope is that John Cena loses the title in the Elimination Chamber, which is the next pay-per-view in 2 weeks, and almost a week now.
A week, yeah.
And my ideal would be he loses it to Bray Wyatt, finally getting a title on Wyatt, and then Randy and Wyatt have to fight at WrestleMania.
It seems weird to me, though, that, like,
then
they would let John Cena win the title and then just have him drop it at Elimination Chamber, but whatever.
It could happen. The Chamber is weird,
if they were
right?
going to do, if they're going to do if they're continuing this Orton-Wyatt storyline, because, like, when it happened, even though I was happy it wasn't Roman, I was fine even with just Orton winning regardless, because that storyline has been pretty good. All brand split, like since they started it, kind of, because it's like it was dating back to, was it SummerSlam when Bray and Randy were supposed to have a match?
I think so.
Has it dated back that far when Bray attacked Randy backstage?
I honestly don't remember.
I can't remember, but anyway, I like the storyline. I like all the weird shit they've been doing. The fucking whatever, the visual effects. Twirly face
with
and
Randy
glowing
and
eyes.
Glowing
and
eyes, yeah.
I think that shit's fun.
Yeah.
And I was fine. I was like, oh, okay. Orton's, when it happened, I was like, oh, I didn't even think of Orton Cena. My brain went right to, oh, they're going to do Orton Wyatt. Like, they're going to get that title on Wyatt somehow.
I hope
but
so.
if you're going to do the storyline, why not just have Wyatt win, or Bray win the Royal Rumble? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand.
Because now it's going to be Bray wins it from Cena, and then Randy wins it from him at Mania.
I'm hoping Bray just retains.
That would be amazing.
That would be great.
They've done the heels retaining at WrestleMania before with Miz, but we'll see.
So again, as with wrestling, you got to see how it shakes out. We all get really nervous around WrestleMania season because spoilers are way more prevalent now. Every year, every fucking year, it's like, here's what they think is going to be the proposed card, and everyone's like, it's garbage. Wrestling's the worst. I fucking quit. Because, like, every time I see somebody write it, or I see an article about, like, oh, these are the backstage plans for so-and-so and so-and-so, it's like, I can't read it because I just can't. I gotta wait and see.
The Big Show versus Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
No joke. That's probably going to happen.
That's fine. Like, that's an attraction match.
No, I got no problem. By the way, I have no problem with that match because some sort of weird celebrity match always tends to happen at WrestleMania. This was teased last year during the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's in Orlando. Shaquille O'Neal. That all makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm terrified for AJ Styles going forward. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was good.
So apart from the complaints that I brought up, it was actually, I thought, a very good Rumble match.
Yeah.
And overall a terrific pay-per-view, and not just because we were there in person.
Not just even if just like
that was a blast,
if I was just watching it was a good pay-per-view. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we had the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns match was awesome. Yeah. It was very good, and it just sucks that it was on the same card as AJ Styles and John Cena because that match was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Cruiserweight match was good, even though the Cruiserweights have been continually fucked for storylines and everything else. But I'm hoping it turns the corner now that Neville, they have like a base to build around, right? Like, here's our big heel champion. Now let's just feed baby faces to him for a few months until somebody can beat him, right? So I'm hoping that's the case. But
we're going to go and have some NyQuil or something.
I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm fucking exhausted.
Have some dinner and some tea with honey and turn in.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And for being so keen to hear our opinions. We've been having a bunch of people be like, "What? When do we get to here? When do we get to here?"
Shout out to all the people that came up in PAX South and were like, "Yeah, Sidewalk Slam was either got me back into wrestling or I watched the show and I don't watch wrestling."
Yeah.
That's those are two very big compliments.
Thank you for enjoying this show because we really enjoy it.
I really love doing this show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So.
And if you want to talk to us other times about stuff, Twitter is a great place to do the one-on-onesie ask us opinions about stuff.
I feel that we're really good about.
I try to be. I try to reply to people whenever I can. And you can do that with Adam.
Yes, I am.
Wake Up Super.
Yeah, and you can do that also with Graham at Graham_LRR.
Yeah, that's us. And all of this and everything else that we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun.
Yep.
Please subscribe to this channel.
Click the bell.
Yeah.
Also, twitch.tv/LoadingReadyRun.
For all of our streams.
There are a lot of streams. There's a stream happening right now.
Yeah, we've probably been yelling and interrupting them.
Probably. They're trying to do like a real serious.
They're playing Life
looking
is
at video
Strange.
games as art, and we're like, WrestleMans! Fuck you, Roman Reigns!
It's still art. It's just different art.
Different kinds of art.
Did I tell you my favorite, like, encapsulating the entire feeling of wrestling fans after this Royal Rumble?
No.
Royal Rumble 2017, the one with the wrong Samoa.
That's fucking great.
Oh, they want a Samoan named Joe. Okay.
All right.
Get Joe Anoa'i out there. Roman Reigns' real name is Joe.
Yeah.
But we wanted Samoa Joe.
We wanted Samoa Joe.
He shows up the next night on Raw.
Yeah,
it's really
and
sweet.
It's awesome.
And then
Seth Rollins got hurt. So he's out for 8 weeks.
I hope he's back for Mania.
I don't think he's going to be. I think they're just going to scrap the Triple H thing.
I hope not. But we'll see.
We'll find out.
Anyway, we'll be back in a couple weeks' time with our thoughts on Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And then following that is Fastlane. And then after that, is there like a break and then WrestleMania?
Yeah,
all right.
WrestleMania.
All right. So, thanks for joining us, everybody.
All right.
Talk to you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.